Hello friends, in this video we're going to learn how to draw Mario Bros. We'll start with a very basic circle. We're going to make a very basic sketch and go from the basics to the details. Then we'll draw a cross that marks the middle of the circle. These proportions are very basic, these measurements, and they're necessary for the drawing to turn out really well. We draw two more lines parallel to the middle line. In this rectangle, we're going to draw a ball, almost like an oval, which will be Mario's nose. This nose will serve as a reference point for the rest of the facial features, roughly at nose level. We start drawing the mustache. Try to use this same grid that's drawn in the middle of this circle as a guide. Right at the midpoint of the cross, we start drawing. Is the eye shaped like an oval or like an egg? We're going to draw it in such a way that the point of the cross is practically where the pupil of the eye goes. We make this sketch with a pencil and then we're going to outline it. The important thing about doing it with a pencil is that we can erase and correct some mistakes. Do it very patiently. Pause the video and go step by step. To draw the other eye, we can use about the middle of the nose as a guide. We start with a line that will be part of the eye, but we're going to begin another part of the eye, pretty much at the tip of the nose. It's kind of like an egg, but it's hidden behind the nose. Let me know in the comments if you watched the Mario Bros movie and what you thought of it. Honestly, I loved it. To draw the eyebrow, we start drawing it below this line that we made above the upper line. It's kind of like a check mark. It's something very easy to draw, just like the other eyebrow, which will be a little longer, since Mario will be making a gesture like raising his eyebrow above the other one. We can start drawing the bottom part of the cap. Now that is the base of the cap. It's like a curve. And the good thing about having drawn this initial circle is that we can outline the face more easily. As you can see, we start with a curve here going down by the eyebrow, and then we kind of add a bit of cheek next to the mustache and continue with that curve that the circle gives us. Starting from the top line of the center line, we begin to draw the ear, which is somewhat rounded and very easy to do. We also start drawing the sideburn that goes next to the ear. As you can see, part of it goes through the middle of the center line and even below it. And from there, we start drawing upwards, and as you can see, also at the corner of the ear at the top, the base of the hat begins. Once we have the base of the hat, we can draw the top part of it, which is kind of like it's a bit higher, and it even goes outside the reference sketch circle we made at the beginning. It sticks out a little. As you can see, it's a bit thicker, a bit fatter at the tip, more toward the face than at the back of the hat. We also draw the brim, the part that protects him from the sun. It's like a curve, also very simple. Do it like this. Slowly, it goes up, then down. Remember that you can erase and try again. We make a circle on the thickest part of the hat, which is where Mario's logo goes. And now with a fine tip pen, we can start outlining the drawing, which is the most satisfying part. We need to have a steady hand at this moment. To have a steady hand, it's important to hold your breath a little, relax your hand, and make the strokes confidently without fear. We can change the position of our wrist or the notebook a few times, so that when we turn our wrist, we do it in a natural and comfortable way. To color it, I'm going to use some Faber-Castell super soft colored pencils and some Prismacolor junior ones. I mean, they're some of the cheapest, that is, they're some of the most affordable. Basically, we've already finished the drawing and you can color it however you like. However, I'm going to color it in a way that's a bit similar to the movie, kind of in a 3D style. You can also follow the same process. It's not as complicated as it seems, just as you can see. I'm going to start in the dark areas, adding a brown tone, but without putting too much pressure on the paper. In other words, just brushing the paper, gently touching it. Because later we're going to apply another color on top, a lighter one. Not as dark like a cream color, but a bit darker, but not as dark as the brown color. This will give it a darker skin tone in the shaded areas. And some time ago, I made a video transforming Mario from semi-realistic, 3D Mario, into a scary Mario. I'll leave the card here in case you want to go watch it, or at the end of the video you'll find the card to go directly to watch it. As you can see, with that lighter brown color, it's less dark than the brown we used for the first layer, barely touching the paper. Now we can apply more pressure to the paper, the maximum pressure to the paper. And as you can see, you can already notice, you can already see the tone completely. And it kind of mixes a little with that dark brown tone, so it looks like a skin tone in shadow. And when we get to the middle, then we start reducing the pressure on the pencil a bit to gradually fade the tone. Where we didn't apply as much pressure is because we're going to use the cream color to give it a skin tone, but lighter, since we're getting closer to where the light reflects the most. So we start using, obviously, some lighter pencils to color the hair. And for the mustache, we'll use pretty much the same technique, but a bit darker, of course. So we're going to use the dark brown color, and we'll also mix it with a bit of cream color, or the lighter brown color, to give it that effect. To color the hat, we'll add some highlighted shiny areas. It's also very basic. In the shadowed area, we first add a very light layer of brown, just on the surface. And then on top of that, we apply the red color with more pressure. And in the lighter areas, we're going to use a lighter red or a pink, mixing it a bit with white to give it that shiny effect. But in these dark areas, it's going to be completely red, pressing down on top of that first brown layer we made. Coloring the eyes is also really easy, especially around the iris. We're going to use a regular blue, one that's somewhat dark, and we're going to leave a white space near the pupil. We're going to use a lighter blue, which will even mix a bit with white. And the pupil, well, obviously like any eye, is always completely black. We'll even leave a tiny space without painting it blue, so it looks like a highlight. I also use a little bit of black around the iris to give it more depth, to give that blue a bit more contrast and make it a little darker. I use a bit of gray, mixing it right now with a little white to blend it a bit, and that way we give it a bit of white shading. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe if you're new, and see you next time.